Hi, my name is Rebecca Lee, and I co-wrote this book right here with Andy Cutler, PhD, who I always say when I do these videos should have gotten a Nobel Prize for what he figured out. I'm in my place in Jamaica, and the noise you hear is my husband putting a roof on the house, and there's also the occasional dog and chicken and a rooster chiming in, so that's what you're hearing. So let me get to this. One of my Facebook friends remarked recently that reading Amalgam Illness, and Amalgam Illness is this book right here, was Andy's brain dump where he put all the information he figured out about chronic mercury poisoning, what to do about it. He put that all in this book. So it's like reading Amalgam Illness is sort of like reading scripture. You can't really read it from cover to cover and hope to retain anything. It is more the sort of thing that you open randomly, like the I Ching, and lob on to some incredibly apt and important tidbit that makes you understand something crucial all of a sudden. Of course, it's a reference book too, if you can find anything, that is. It took me a long time to find this section, which I had read and then couldn't find again. It was in Prognosis. In it, Andy gives how long you can expect to chelate to obtain certain results. For instance, he says, got it here with my clothespin. The big determiner of how long it takes is the DMSA and LA phase. That depends on how seriously poisoned you got. And he says, if you feel depressed, tired, icky, you are moderately poisoned. 6 to 11 months of DMSA and lipoic acid treatment will be required. And then he goes on to say you're starting to get stuff like chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, environmental sensitivity, severe allergies or asthma, emotional disturbances. You're going to require 14 to 25 months and so forth. If you get really sick, you've got multiple chemical sensitivities, chronic fatigue, serious emotional disturbances, and you really can't participate in life. And he predicts 20 to 36 months. But he told me that section was the one that he regretted the most putting in the book. And people reasonably wish to know how long this is going to take. Now with more experience, all we can say is we don't know, it depends. The only advice we can give is to do your due diligence about your teeth and amalgam specs and just hunker down and plug away at this program. Have faith, have patience. Make doing this your new way of life until you reach a level of wellness that suits you. Although I started to notice significant changes after 1 year, I chelated for 10 years. Most of those without a single break, just straight through week after week. Now I am one of the few people who can testify to the latter stages of this thing. I can do 600 milligrams of lipoic acid at a shot and not feel anything much. And I don't chelate much anymore. Sometimes I'll do a maintenance round or two because I suspect that mercury tends to seep out of places where it's stored. I don't know. But if I feel I'm getting a symptom that I think is a mercury symptom, I'll do a round or two. I can't say much about how long this process will take any particular person. I think I can say, however, with some authority now, that in the department of how well you will recover, that if you are a child, you can expect to recover completely and just continue a normal child. Although I do feel that children who have been through this turned out to be rather interesting characters. For young people, it's similar, or younger people. You should stop being poisoned, but as you're still going to have to deal with all the psychological habits you acquired when you were poisoned, you're going to have to deal with those, and you may still have some chronic health things that you will need to manage too, but they will be manageable, whereas before they weren't. They were just getting worse. For an elder person like myself, well, I'm not dead, like my poor brother who chelated 5 years with a spec, and I'm not getting dementia like I was. I no longer get bouts of debilitating depression. I no longer cope all day with anxiety. I no longer have strange pains that show up in random different places. I can do more than one thing a day. In fact, when I look around at other people in their 70s, I think I'm in pretty great shape. But staying in great shape is a full-time job. For a lot of us, staying healthy is a full-time job. You're not going to be able to go back to eating anything you want mindlessly. No more Big Macs for you. I still read the ingredients on everything I buy, and I take a bunch of supplements, and I cook everything from scratch and all organic. In my case, my adrenals are toast. I burned the candle at both ends for years, and I was poisoned, and now I'm old. I have no reserves. The 24-hour grueling trip that I took from Burlington to Vermont to Jamaica, and traveling is particularly grueling these days, puts me down for a couple of weeks, maybe 3 weeks. I have to take supplements, I have to coddle myself, I have to lie around in bed and take naps in order to feel optimistic and energetic again, but I get there. Having bad adrenals makes other things go wrong too. I was just reading in Amalgam Illness how bad adrenals contribute to candida problems. I can't find the paragraph anymore, but it's there. I still get insomnia if I don't coddle my adrenals too. So I'm not in perfect health. I'm not Wim Hof. But when you are toxic, these things don't get better. They get really chronic. Or if they do get better, something else shows up to take their place. This thing doesn't get better on its own. The prognosis is terrible. So don't put off clearing this crap out of your body and just let it do its thing. Its thing may turn out to be dying of Alzheimer's disease in your old age, or even before that, or something equally unpleasant. So chelate and get better. You're not going to avoid being subject to the human condition, which my Buddhist buddies like to point out is old age, sickness, and death. But I like to think that you are going to have to deal with a whole lot less of the sickness part of that. So please like and share my video and do all those good things you have to do to get this stuff widely understood and encountered. Thank you very much.